Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. And my special guest this evening, you might know him from Battle Club Pro, the new kid on the block, Innovative Pro Wrestling. I think Wrestler's Lab as well. He was in a whole bunch of different things. Mr. Joakim Morales. Joakim, how are you this evening, sir?
Good evening, buddy. How are you doing? I'm well.
I'm doing well. I'm just getting tired of all this rain we're getting in the Northeast.
The weather is not on our side. It's pretty funny because it's an inside joke between me and my friends, but Mother Nature has been my arch enemy for like 13 years now, and she just doesn't let up. I might have to book that match to see if I can fix her up.
Yeah, you versus Mother Nature.
She's definitely gonna squash me.
That's funny. Before we get into stuff with Battle Club and Innovative, I wanted to talk a little bit about how you got into wrestling. Like, what were your first memories growing up of wrestling?
My earliest wrestling memory is Macho Man Randy Savage versus Tito Santana at the Boston Garden or Madison Square Garden. I don't know which one. I know it's the Garden. I know it's on the tape. I've done a lot of stupid things growing up, so the brain isn't there. It's really tunnel vision. So it's like, hey, I'm focusing on this, so this is all I care about. Like, you know, in outside of pro wrestling, I work at a D75 school, and I could literally name you 500 kids right now, first and last name, without question. And then, I could tell you details of conversations I've had with workers from 6-7 months ago about, gimmicks and moves and stuff like that, spots. But like, other than that, memories kind of are a little hazy. But that's it. It's Macho Man versus Tito. Mach wins dirty, and I've been hooked ever since. I'm a big guy, a little over 6 feet, over 300 pounds. So like, people automatically assume I like the monsters, and I don't. Like, I love workers. Like, my all-time favorite is Punk, and I'm not gonna get into his whole thing. It's just like, he's always been my all-time favorite. I'll never forget. I saw him on TNA in a tag match with Julio De Niro, and it just that was it. Like, I saw him, was like, okay, I need to find out everything about him. And then, obviously the Colt Cabana connection came, and so on and so forth. And I've been a wrestling fan forever, as long as I can remember, dude.
That's awesome. You talk about your memory. I'm the exact opposite. I have trouble remembering the stuff that happened a little while ago, but I can tell you something like from 10 years ago, like you could, flip a switch, and you're like, well, how the hell do you remember that and not something that happened like 3 weeks ago? But when did you decide that you were gonna get into business?
That's a pretty funny story, and I didn't even realize that I had this conversation with a good friend of mine until I was announced as the commissioner of Innovative Pro. So I went to the WrestleMania in Levi Stadium. That was 31, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rollins cashing in.
Yeah.
So I have a friend out on the West Coast in Vegas, Davina Jackson, who's an author. First book is amazing, poetry. She's just a great person, an unbelievable energy. So I flew out to Vegas. I was like, hey, Mama, I got these tickets to WrestleMania. I would like to take you. I know it's not really your thing, but the road trip and everything that it'll encompass, I think, will be great for us, because we've been friends for a few years and we've hung out, but we really didn't get that. So I'm like, an 8-hour drive is great if you really find someone that you can converse with. So she's like, yeah, I'm down. So fly to Vegas. She picks me up. Boom, hit the road. We're gonna go out to Santa Clara, get a room there, just chill out, see Mania, have a great time. So we're in the car and talking everything, religion, politics, nonsense, and wrestling comes up. And she reminded me, this happened a little over 3 years ago. She reminded me that we had a conversation, and I was like, man, I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know when, but I need to get into wrestling somehow. I don't know what I'm going to do because, the wrestling aspect, like, I love it, but I never thought I would do it.
Yeah.
So she had reminded me about that. And a few weeks later, a Facebook friend of mine, Carlos Aristide, who's the other owner of Battlefield Pro, he hit me up. He's like, hey, man, I'm starting an independent promotion, and I would love for you to be on commentary. Now, a little background with that is we've been Facebook friends for a few years, and all we ever did was argue. That's it. We would talk. We would argue about pro wrestling, and it centered around Punk a lot because, again, love.
He's a very
Punk.
transcendent figure.
Right. So this is around the time where Punk was really hot during the 434, and he had that thing with Ryback. So, like, his argument was he understood why the company was behind Ryback and why they were pushing him and why they would, they're utilizing him as maybe a secondary to Cena. And I was just like, nah, Punk's the man. Punk should never lose that title. And we would just go back and forth all the time. And slowly, like, I started to understand. Like, I always understood why they would use Ryback, but then I kind of started seeing it. I'm like, wait, okay, there it is. And then conversely, he did the same. He was like, yo, he actually hit me up. He's like, okay, I see why Punk is the man right now. And we became less argument buddies and legit just kind of friends. So yeah, he messaged me, I want you to be on commentary. So I'm like, cool, sure. I always go on the premise that if someone offers you something, do it, because the worst that you can do is fail at it. And it's the equivalent of not doing it all, but at least you gave it a shot.
Yeah, at least you gave it the college try.
Right. So, I was like, sure. And then, like, it's getting closer, and I'm seeing match graphics, and I'm like, whoa. And I start kind of, doing homework. Because, like, I always kept my eye on the indies, independent professional wrestling. But, like, I wasn't hardcore immersed in it. I would always look for, like, new talent, and a bunch of my friends can tell you, like, years before they became huge names, I would be like, hey, we should watch this guy, or we should see this guy.
Yeah.
So, like, the eye was always there, but it wasn't like, boom, I wasn't super focused. So then, the match graphics are coming. This is professional wrestling being brought to the Bronx. The mission statement was bring great wrestling to the Bronx. And right around the end of the school year, I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, dude, I don't just want to be a commentary guy. Like, I want to do any and everything. Like, whatever you need help with, I'm there for you. And he's like, all right, cool. So he's like, I'm going to give you a shot. He was doing production for, at the time, Tier 1. He still does production for WrestlePro. And he was like, I'm filming this show. I need a third cameraman. Come along. Sure. Again, whatever opportunity is being offered, I'm going to take it. And that was it. Like, we did it. We did the filming. I went out and I promoted. Before that filming happened, he wanted to test me. He was like, hey, I'm going to fly her up in the Bronx. You willing to do that? So that's where we first met, like, face-to-face. We've been Facebook friends, but we never met face-to-face. So I flyered up with him. The cops kicked us out from flyering because we did it in the middle of a block party. And then, yeah, so that's how it happened. And I fell in love with it. Like, going backstage, the first event I did with him, Damian Sandow was coming to Tier 1. And it's just like, I just saw you on TV like a few months ago. And I just shook your hand. So it blew my mind. And man, it's just been up and away ever since, just totally giving myself, to this process. I mean, and I love it. And it's weird because, like, it's hard to explain to people, like, hey, I'm in wrestling. Oh, you wrestle? What's your wrestling? No, I'm not a wrestler. I do this. And they're like, well, but what but they just go in there and they fight, right? And it's like, no, there's more to it. Like, so if they're not really like eyes open on what it is we're doing, they'll never understand it.
Oh, that if they only knew everything that like you have to do just to get to the event.
Right. So I mean, yeah, and since then I have had the pleasure of doing production for Impact, Tier 1, 5 boroughs on the commentary side. I've filmed WrestlePro ICW. I mean, it just like doing everything, commentary for multiple companies. The first company outside of Battle Club to give me a shot was Wrestler's Laboratory, as you mentioned earlier. And Wrestler's Laboratory really opened my eye because it's one thing to keep your eyes on independent pro wrestling with bigger names. It's another thing to be in it as a part of a company, and then you get those names that are like on the cusp of being big names. And Wrestler's Lab was like, hey, there's this whole subsection of guys who are extremely talented and don't have the right set of eyes on them. And it's just like, I'm like, oh, what's behind this curtain? And they showed me the light. It's like, look at all this talent. If they just had the right people push them the right way or the right set of eyes to get the right buzz, could you imagine where they go? And man, those guys love the Wrestlers Lab product. Chris Ruiz, Mike Sweeney, just two visionaries. Like they're having their first solo show on July 8th, and man, that card. Like I asked for it like a month ago, and he's like, dude, it's like 4 months out, bro. Why do you want it? I'm like, I have to see it, and he showed it to me, and it's like Pulp Fiction when they open up the briefcase. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, that's going to be great. I'm honored to be on that with commentary. I'm so honored.
That's awesome. And, you talk about, like, the holy cow kind of thing. It's still weird for me, like, when I do, like, I'll interview talent or whatever for certain companies. And, like you're saying, you go backstage and stuff. That's still weird to me.
It'll never not be weird. I mean, unless you've been doing it for 20, 30 years, but I think if you're inside your first 10 years, it's always going to be that way because, in those 10 years, there's just a plethora of talent that you'll hear about or see about, or just like you'll notice things but never meet them. And then 6, 7 years into your journey, hey, we're sharing a locker room. And it's just the weirdest, most
it's
beautiful.
Like a holy shit moment.
Right. And it's like that almost every show. It is beautiful in its chaos. And that's one of my favorite ways to describe pro wrestling because that's what it is. It is beauty in chaos.
Yeah, I could totally see that. What I wanted to do is kind of, because I have the cards in front of me, go down Battle Club's card and Innovative's card and get your thoughts on each match.
Sure. Did you want to go match by match on each show?
Yeah, is that cool?
That's perfectly fine. Did you have a preference of where you want to start?
I figure we might as well go with Battle Club since they're first on Saturday.
All right, that's awesome. I mean, you throw the match out because there's no particular match order yet. And
oh yeah, I'm literally just looking at your Facebook event page. And then to be completely honest with you, I went and looked at that, and then I went on Twitter, and I'm like, all right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything.
It's so far we've got 8 matches announced, and today there was a promo drop that we'll get into a little bit later.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to go straight down the list. First time ever, she was in the Mae Young Classic and used to be on Impact, Mia Yim versus Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah. Oh man, the Blasian Baddie. That's the new tag. That's the new name.
Yeah, I forgot. I just saw her drop that in her promo recently.
Yeah. She had mentioned it on commentary, and like on commentary, I tried to keep up, but in my head, I was like, "Yo, that's so awesome." That's so awesome. Formerly the War Queen in Mia Yim. I mean, she's incredible. You know, she worked for us where she had faced Jordan Grace, and Jordan Grace, who's on this card as well, was victorious via submission. Let me just tell you how awesome Mia Yim is. We had a group by the 13th floor who, again, they were first on Wrestler's Lab, and Mia saw that they had some pretty dope shirts. Mia Yim comes out with a 13th floor shirt. Like, that's so cool of her. Like, what? You know?
Yeah, like she didn't have to do that.
No, she absolutely didn't, you know, but she did, and it was just incredible. And she was the special host because, you know, she wasn't back from injury on March 3rd, but, you know, she got in that ring and she told everyone who she was coming for, and those she dropped fighting words in that promo for Miss Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, who actually, Tessa was the very first female to wrestle in CZW's Best of the Best last month, actually.
I was at that show, and she was so impressive. First of all, love the music. Never heard her music. You watch the clips, you watch the highlights, you watch the matches. You don't really get the entrances though when you do your homework that way. So when she came out to that Diamonds Are Forever intro, and then boom, it goes into a rap kind of remix of the Horsemen. I was like, holy crap. I was super intrigued. She wrestled David Starr. See, I'm trying to. This is.
Yeah, it was David Starr and Matt Riddle.
Yes. And I mean, just chucking around these guys. It's just like, and she hit Starr with a clothesline that like made my knees weak.
I know, and like when she was throwing strikes, you're like, holy crap.
Yes, it's just so much power in that frame. She's like, I met her backstage. I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna formally introduce myself. Going to her battle club. I'm so happy you're on. She's like, oh, hey, cool. And we spoke, and like, I mean, it's weird. Like I said, I'm a big guy. I go to shake her hand, and I'm like, she's probably gonna crush my hand. She's probably gonna crush my hand because I'm just remembering the shots she were throwing. Very gentle, but I was like, okay, it's cool. It's a nice handshake. But man, I was super impressed, man. And that crowd loved her. They ate it up.
I agree with you. I'm super excited for that match. Next, we have Jessica Havoc going one-on-one with Harlow O'Hara.
Yeah, so this is did you shout out to our sponsor, Title Match Wrestling. Did you actually watch the match with Harlow O'Hara and Willow Nightingale?
Yes.
So you saw what happened at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great because like I'm like, okay, you know, Jessica's there trying to make her side money as everyone should. And we want you to make as much as you can. You know, the fans love to support.
Absolutely.
You should absolutely take that opportunity. So she's out there, you know. Harlow wins via submission versus Willow, which is a great match. I thought that was a perfect way to start that event. And it's just like, what's Harlow looking at? And then I look over, and it's just like I'm following. You ever see the cartoons where the line of sight goes where they're looking? I'm following that imaginary line.
Yes.
I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. All right, let's see where this goes. And Harlow slides out the ring, and then boom, detours. That's not backstage. And I'm like, this is about to go down right now. And I'm happy there wasn't a camera on me because I am just the happiest little kid in the candy store, but I'm super concerned. I'm like, because there's innocent children nearby.
Yeah,
please don't let them fight. But man, Harlow wins the match. She earns the right to face whoever won the main event. And, you know, we're gonna fast forward because obviously Jessica Havoc won that main event against Su Yung, and Jesus, that match. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, so that's gonna be crazy because like it's like you see the Twix commercial where they're making fun of people that they're like, hey, they have as much as common as you being a a janitor and Mia Porter or something like that. It's
yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
they're similar, but they're very different. You know, like Harlow is the undead priestess. She's born again. The attention to detail in her production value is second to none. And then it's like across the ring is someone who can legitimately kill you and smile as something like,
and like she enjoyed it.
Yeah. She's smiling in the song "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round" is playing, so it's supposed to be joyous, but she's murdering you.
Yeah.
You know, and Havoc Death Machine, who is absolutely a joy to work with. I mean, that match is gonna be crazy. And so I'm gonna jump not ahead, but I alluded to it earlier. Leva Bates is going to be our special guest commissioner for the night. And she's told me, hey, what can I do? I was like, mix it up. What do you feel like doing? She's like, I'm going to save that for the night of. And I'm like, oh, this might not be the best idea, but what can I do? She's in charge. And she's promised me that it's going to get crazy with certain matches. And she really emphasized this match. So I want to see what she has in store for that. And she also said that she's gonna find a way to get herself crowned champion. So I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. But it's gonna be a night.
Speaking of which, I saw the picture of the belt on social media.
Oh my God, gorgeous! Randy Marsh in the basement, gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks very, very nice.
Did you? You're a South Park fan?
Yes.
So the episode where Randy Marsh is like, oh, there's so much ectoplasm. That's what I used to describe my feeling when I saw the title. Shout out to Z-Bros Championship belts. They are amazing in what they do. When I saw that belt, I nearly dropped my phone. I had to take a seat. My coworkers were like, what's wrong? I'm like, it's so beautiful.
You don't understand.
You'll just never get it. You'll never get it. And yeah, oh my God.
Like you have to sit down and take a couple deep breaths.
And so I mean, all championship belts are meant to look as beautiful as they can, while also representing the company that they're there for. This one is a bit different. There is two things that are on this belt that I am infinitely proud of, and it's something that represents both myself and my partner. There's hints of the Bronx and Brooklyn on this title, and it just doesn't get any better. I'm a Brooklyn-born guy. I've been here my whole life. My partner's a Bronx-born guy. Been there his whole life. So it's like we are on this title, and this title represents us to the fullest because we are about Battle Club with everything we have.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm so stoked. I know the fans are gonna love it. Those special VIP fans that have the photo op with the championship belt before the show can just eat it up.
That's awesome. All right, next we have Su Yung going one-on-one with Diamante.
So you ever find yourself in a position and you go, how the hell did I get here?
Yes.
3 o'clock in the morning, I am in a restaurant with the gift god, Hokai, who's our media guy, my partner, Carlos, and a still face painted up Su Yung. Now, I don't look like a typical Spanish guy. Hokai does, and my partner does. And then there's Su Yung. There's the undead bride. 3 o'clock in the morning in a diner relatively close to Hunts Point. Could you imagine the looks that we're getting? So it's weird, and we're all normal because we're all beat.
Welcome to indie wrestling.
Exactly. So Stu looks over at me. She's like, I want to fucking work Diamante again. Okay, we're gonna make that happen. That's it. It's just the man. Like I was the waiter. What do you have? I'll have Diamante. Okay, sure. Sure. And
that's great.
It is. And then subsequently, I meet Diamante a week later at WrestlePro, I think. I believe, yeah, it was WrestlePro in Uniondale. Um, an excellent conversation, just an excellent conversation about our backgrounds and the kind of people we are as Hispanics. And man, it was just like, yeah, this is going to be so amazing. You know, they've worked each other before, so it's not a first time ever thing. But it's like you go to the dance with your best dance partner to get the best dance results.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is going to be a blast. And it's another match that the commish for the night said she's intrigued about maybe mixing up a bit. It's oh man, I'm super stoked for the card. I'm super stoked to see how we're gonna crown a champion. I'm super stoked to see how the fans react to the product. But I'm really interested in what everyone's cosplay queen has in store for the show. That's where I'm most intrigued, because it's like I'm gonna give you some,
you never
some
know
rain.
what he's gonna do.
Right, you know, and it's just like I'm gonna give you some rain. Like, show me what you can do.
Absolutely. All right. Next, we have Willow Nightingale going up against Kira Hogan.
Yeah, NYWC Starling Champion versus the First Lady of Atlanta, recent Impact signee, and Nightingale is just the most bubbly personality on the planet. But if you just blink the wrong way, she can hurt you. Like, NYWC is a company. I mean, storied, so many great talents to come out of there. Matt Striker, Tony Nese, you know, Mondo. It's just, I mean, what else can I say? You know, what that their talent hasn't said for them. So I do filming for them. You know, I work alongside Tony, and he is awesome. So he's brought me along as a secondary camera. And it's just like to watch the progression of Willow every time I do videography. It's just incredible. And again, Kiera's tearing it up. First Lady of Atlanta, Impact signee. You know, everyone, like, she's on a stage where the world can see how good she is. This match is, I'm intrigued about this because they're different. You know, Kiera's fiery and Willow's bubbly. So it's like, you know, what's going to happen here? How's this going to go? Where is it going to go? This one,
what you mean, where they're kind of like polar opposites.
Right. This one's got me. So, like, you know, so far we've covered Sue and Diamante. They're very familiar with themselves. Havoc and Harlow are similar and different at the same time, you know. And Tessa and Mia is just like first time ever. They've both been on the scene for a while, you know. But it's the person that's scratched and clawed all the way to get to where they're at. Versus, you know, some people that I wouldn't say this because I don't want her to punch me in the face. But some people would say, hey, she was given everything she's got because she's second generation. And then it's just like two totally opposite people.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like with Willow, she had that same kind of matchup with Harlow in March. Two entirely different matchups. And she came up just short, you know. She fought a hell of a match, but she didn't come up, you know, victorious. So what is she gonna do here? Can she top Kiera, or is Kiera gonna keep riding this crazy wave that she's been on and catapult herself to a victory?
I agree. All right, moving right along, we have someone who actually, with the last couple of months, just had a tryout down at the Performance Center. Maria Manic going one-on-one with Asia Pereira. Forgive me if my English is bad.
It's Aja Pereira.
My apology.
The extraterrestrial who just got back from an overseas tour. And, man, like, you talk about, like, encompassing herself and who she is, and that's going to be great. You know, I think we're one of her first rather the second or third match back from her tour of China?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this because Maria Manic is, like, frighteningly strong.
That's what I'm about to get to. Like, I saw Maria this past weekend at CZW, and I was standing with someone that I've gotten, you know, cool with because of wrestling, and he knew of Maria, he didn't know it was her that went into that ring and she chokeslammed Frankie Prickard. I was like, yeah, it was Maria Manic. He's like, holy shit, she's frightening and beautiful at the same time. I was like, yeah, that's the thing. You know, and he's like, she's 200 pounds of raw solid muscle. And he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, dude, she's scary in all the best ways. And he's like, she could destroy me like Thanos with the snap of a finger. Spoiler if you guys haven't seen it yet. Yeah, so Manic is a monster, and
I saw her, not to cut you off, I saw her body slam a 400-pound Ace Romero.
and I guarantee you it was with ease. It's just like
frightening.
It was. Remember how Samoa Joe would like just walk away from someone doing a suicide dive as if it was so nonchalant, like nothing. Yeah, that's probably how she slammed him. She was like, "Yeah, this is lightweight." Yeah. Yeah, I did commentary for Five Boroughs, and she was in a triple threat match or a 4-way. It was one of those multi-man matches, and it was Brandon Watts was in it. So I mean, I'm sure you've seen Brandon. Brandon gets air when he comes off the top. So Brandon is like he's ceiling surfing when he jumps off the top rope, and Manic isn't looking, and then like last minute looks up and catches him like he was a foul ball at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, like he was nothing.
And like chucked him. Like I'm pretty sure he ended up rolling out the ring, but chucked him 3/4 of the way of the ring. And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, frightening. But again, it's just like it's inviting because she's attractive. It's just like awkward. What? I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with my hands. Help me.
That's funny. But no, this is one match I'm very excited to see.
Are you familiar with Aja's work?
Yes.
Yeah, so like she just came back from her tour, and I was just like, oh, man, this is gonna be a great pickup. You know, this again match. You know, this is a huge bodybuilder, but a great look, and then she's got this extraterrestrial. Like her whole thing is like being weird, but at the same time being so good in the ring. Can she conquer the monstrous, you know?
Yeah, it'll be exciting. All right, next we have Thick Mama Pump Jordan Grace going one-on-one with Rachel Ellering.
Man, I have to give praise where praise is due. Jordan Grace she's probably the most familiar talent when it comes to Battle Club Pro as a female, with the exception of Sue and Harlow. I think they'll all be at the same amount of shows when the June show hits, if I'm correct. But yeah, she beat Santana Garrett in November because, you know, Jordan Grace is awesome. She beat Yim with a bear hug. Her bear hug is better than anybody else's. And she's kind of set a goal. She's still Thick Mama Pump, but she's leaned out really well. I was just
going to mention that. She's gotten in fantastic shape. Not that she was bad.
No, that's the thing, right. So she's still Thick Mama Pump, but she's leaned out. And, like, now you can truly appreciate how big her guns are. Because, you know, she's leaned out, she's still thick, but her arms are, like, she's like, this is why the bear hug works. She just squeezes until you're about to pop. You've got no choice but to submit. And then, again, another second-generation star, Rachel Ellering. Oh, man. A fan had to – I'm not going to forget this. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, going through the Twitter feed because I can't sleep because I had a crappy day at work, and I'm thinking about not going to work. I'm like, I'm not going to go to work tomorrow. I'm like, scrolling through the Twitter feed, and then someone tweets at me, hey, she's open May 26th. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to message her. And instantly she responded. I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to happen. And yeah, man, it's just, you know, she was formerly Rachel Evers on Impact, and I mean, she's got all the wrestling talent in the world. So this is going to be good too, man. I mean, is Jordan going to be able to overpower her? Is Rachel going to have the wrestling acumen to outsmart her, or wait till she makes that one mistake to get that victory?
No, I agree with you there. All right. Next, we have Savannah Evans going one on one with Karen Q.
So, the Asian invasion, Karen Q, who's all over ROH, the Women of Honor thing, New York's own, and then we've got Savannah Evans, who's the sexy young cannibal. I I crossed paths with Savannah Evans multiple times because she would work with High Spots as a
Yes.
vendor, right? Crossed paths with a bunch with her. So I messaged her like, hey, I've got this show. Are you interested? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, question, is this you about the whole vendor thing? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, I should have, I should have introduced myself in person. She's like, yeah, I also did your show. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I did the Brooklyn show. I was like, oh man, I feel like a dick. But yeah, Evans is another one, amazing shape. She's tall. She's got the look, man. She's got that look like, yeah, she can be a champion, and Karen's, again, I don't think there's much more of a bigger compliment when it comes to working independent pro wrestling than working for Ring of Honor. It's like, when you get to that place where you're contracted, whether it's WWE or Impact or Japan or, exclusive ROH.
Yeah, that's
like,
a big step.
It's a big step. But it's like, ROH is like, hey, we're bringing you on. We'll still allow you to hone your craft outside. And once we see that you're ready to be with us and us alone, then we'll make that step. So it's like, that's the highest compliment possible. And she's, all over the Women of Honor and Ring of Honor field.
No, I agree with you. I saw Evans wrestle Isla Dawn last September, and they killed it.
Yeah, Evans is just impressive, man. She really is. Like, I can't get over, like, the name is intriguing. Sexy young cannibal. Like, she's gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat you alive and look good doing it. But, like, just to me, it's like,
interesting to say the least.
It's so interesting, but it's like, all these women on this card are amazing in their own way. They all can be the greatest wrestler in any given moment, on any given card, in any given match. But it's like Evans she's got this look that's like really appealing to me.
Well, and like you said, she's tall. She's like, she's taller than most girls.
Yes,
so that's why she kind of like stands out more.
Right.
I think.
Yes, you know what, you took the words right on. She stands out because of her height, but it's not like she's tall and thin. She's tall and she's got the right build for it.
No, I agree with you. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have a triple threat with Helen Vale. I'm going to try and pronounce this name. If I butcher it, I'm sorry. Azalea and Tasha Steeles.
So it's Azali.
Okay, my bad.
It's fine. Yeah, the first ever Icons, and if anyone who's listening to this doesn't know, from here on out, all the ladies of Battle Club Pro will be known as Icons. These two shows that are coming up that are back-to-back, May 26th and June 16th, such amazing feedback from the fans in two completely different areas. We've got New Jersey and Connecticut. Just the feedback is incredible. So we're going to dedicate at least 2 shows a year for just the ladies. It'll probably be more because, again, the feedback is incredible.
That's awesome.
We wanted to make it a statement. Like, the gals can go, and from what we've seen, they could probably go get better than a lot of the guys. So Battle Club Icons are all women's shows, and Battle Club Pro will be co-ed. And since the first champion in Battle Club is going to be the women's champion, there will always be a spot for that person on the co-ed show.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So the first ever, I'm going to use the term now. So the first ever Icons match, before they were branded that, at Battle by the Six was a triple threat match. It was MJ Jenkins, Vanity, and Katrin. And this is the first triple threat female match since, and Tasha Steele, La Reina, that's the queen in Spanish, Lil Wicked, the mother of monsters, Helen Vale, and then Azali, Duchess. You know, the southern majestic person. You know, the I don't want to say queen. You've said queen 1,000 times, but you know, she's just royalty. That's going to be interesting because again, three really different people, three really different styles, three really different regions, three really different personalities.
No, I agree with you. I'm to be frank with you, I'm not really a huge fan of triple threats a lot of the time, but that one looks very interesting to me.
Yeah, like you know, Tasha and Helen are quick, they're agile, they're smaller. Azali is an imposing figure, so it's like, is she gonna pick these two apart? Like, how is this gonna end up working? It was just one of those like, hey, these three things might go really well together, you know, for people who are fans of pineapple on pizza. It's like pineapple on pizza and then something else. I know for a fact that Helen's not. She's a pizza connoisseur, and she chewed me alive on Twitter because I like pineapple on pizza. But you know, it's just one of those things. It's one of those things where you know it's three entirely different ingredients coming together, and it's just like, oh my god, this is delicious.
No, I'm on board with you with that. All right, I'm gonna move on next to Innovative Pro the next day. So, you know, you're getting bang for your buck, back-to-back days of fantastic pro wrestling.
Yeah. Sundays used to be my day off, but now F me, right? That's not gonna happen. Yeah, man. Innovative Pro, One in the Chamber. I was offered the position. So I mean,
yeah. Go ahead and tell the story first.
Not to get too into some of the, you know, finer things and secretive things in pro wrestling, but a lot of times, some the commissioner on screen, they don't really have say. They're just the face. And when I was offered this position, I was like, well, am I just going to be a face, or am I going to really have involvement? And this owner who wants to remain anonymous was like, no, you're gonna have your say. You're gonna have control. I was like, okay, that's awesome. So now, the old saying is, you don't compare yourself to others. You compare yourself to who you used to be. So how can I make myself better? Well, I'm gonna challenge myself. Well, if I know every move that I'm gonna do, how can I beat myself? And you know that if your mind's in the gutter, that's a question I'll answer after 2:00 in the morning. But you know,
I know what you're saying. Where you got to switch it up, be different.
Right. I've got to be different. You know, it's like, hey, how can like this probably wouldn't work at Battle Club, but you know what? Innovative Pro is a new platform that I have tools to make this work.
Right, and I was going to say that there's so much indie wrestling out there right now that you have to kind of like stand out and be different.
Right, and that's the mission statement of Innovative Pro is the desire to do things differently.
I agree with you. All right, I'm just gonna go straight down the card as I'm looking at your event stuff on Facebook. We have Pro Wrestling Savior JT Dunn going one-on-one with the King of Swerve Shane Strickland.
There's gonna be so much gold in that ring between those two guys. They've got like 40 titles each. So we're going to need Brinks and we're going to need Fort Knox ready to put the titles away because their entrances might take 20 minutes each because all the gold they're going to be bringing to the ring.
Yeah.
Strong Style Brand's very own Pro Wrestling Savior. I mean, Death by Elbow. JT Dunn has been murdering wrestling. Every time I see him, he's just super exciting. And I say it all the time on commentary, and I'll stand by it because it's true. When he's done wrestling, whenever that might be, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years from now, his voice is so good, he's going to take any spot he wants, wherever it is.
Yeah, he has that voice that is perfect.
It's just like I can listen to him talk all the time. Whenever he cuts a promo, it's like I'm just going to shut up and listen because his voice is great, and his wrestling ability matches it. And the King of Swerve style. I mean, kill shot, Ain't nobody love me better. Like just Shane Strickland. Oh my God, the guy is so smooth in the ring. It's like he's like water. Like, you ever hear that saying where Bruce Lee's like, water it can flow through the rocks or it can break it. Like I'm butchering the saying, but that's what he is. He can do it all.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm excited for this. I think it should be a fantastic match.
Fantastic. I think it's selling it short, man. It's just one of those matches that like you sit back and you watch with audio down, quiet, and just appreciate what's going on.
Absolutely. All right, let's see here. Next, we have a 6-man tag. We have the Night Riders going up against Jessica Havoc and The Awakening.
So there's been an alteration in that match. Dustin Ray and Alex Colon will still be in the match representing the Night Riders, but they're bringing in Clayton Gaines, who had a good showing at Battle Club on March 3rd. They're bringing in the guy's physique is scary. The guy chiseled out of granite for sure. And he's going to be their third man. And, Stockade, G Raver, and The Awakening, and Jessica Havoc. Like, you couldn't put... I don't know if I could have made them any scarier. Like, if those three walk into a bar where Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers...
like nightmares or
right. If Jason, Michael, and Freddy are hanging out at the bar and those three walk into a bar, Voorhees, Krueger, and Myers are walking out. They're like, nah, this is too scary for us.
No, and I always say this when I talk about Raver. He is like the toughest, like little... I don't want to say little, but he's not big stature, but he can take a beating. My God.
G Raver, again, filming for NYC, he did a tope, and I'm about 20 yards back. I hear the thud on the floor, and he pops up into the ring and perches himself on the ropes, watching his opponent in misery. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that sounds like him.
What the fuck? You're like, this is gonna be a train wreck in great ways. And I wouldn't be doing the Night Riders. Just like the Night Riders are so good. They are. I mean, I've had the privilege of seeing Alex Colon live a couple of times, and just the chemistry that he has with Aaron Williams and Justin Ray, like that continuity is magical. So like this is gonna be awesome.
And I think, not to cut you off, Alex is a guy that is underappreciated in the way that he can really wrestle, but he can really fight too. Yes.
You spot on, bro. You were spot on with that.
Like, yeah, I think he's super underappreciated with that.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
All right. Next, we have a triple threat hardcore match. This should be very interesting. Harlow O'Hara versus Veda Scott versus Maria Manic.
Yeah, so I just want to make this perfectly clear. Harlow O'Hara did nothing wrong to me at all. She's a wonderful person. She's an amazing talent. And like I said, the attention to detail is phenomenal. She did nothing wrong to me. But she's going to have Jessica Havoc the night before, and then she's going to be in a hardcore match with Maria Manic and Veda Scott. She did nothing wrong to me. I want to stress that. But this match is going to be just crazy off the wall. I mean, we've already covered how just freakish an athlete Maria Manic is. And then Veda Scott, who is known for the cute, the sassy, but like, hey, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth and look great doing it. And then Harlow, like we've covered how great she is and how impressive she was for us for Battle Club back in March. So it's just like three things. I'm just gonna throw it together, and it's gonna stick on the wall, and there's gonna be God only knows what, tables,
and you better
ladders.
Get ready to move if you're out in the crowd.
Right. God knows, chairs, tacks, who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen, but something crazy is going to happen because it's a hardcore match. Like it's extreme rules. They're going to go nuts, and I can't. There has been like jokingly like suggestions thrown around by fans, and if any of those things come true, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, there was a suggestion of using cereal to put somebody, like, just to lay on the floor as thumbtacks. Like, that's horrible. Like, what? Could you imagine getting slammed on Captain Crunch?
Oh.
like just putting someone through an ironing board? Like, what? These fans, they have too much time on their hands sometimes.
I agree with you. All right, moving right along, we have the past, present, and future of professional wrestling. Teddy Hart going one-on-one with the sick dude himself, Zachary Wentz.
Newly crowned CZW Wired champion.
Yeah, that was pretty cool this past weekend.
Oh, man, that guy is so good. So good, man. Oh, the match. This match, like, Teddy Hart has so much left in the tank. Like, there was a point in time where, like, people were, like, talking, like, yeah, man, he kind of messed it up and he ruined it. And it's just like, he just kind of popped back on the scene, and everyone's like, oh, he still got it. And I'm like, yeah, didn't you say, like 2 months ago he's just gone? Like, now you're praising him? That's how good he is. And what I love is, like, it's effortless.
You took the words right out of my mouth. He makes it
effortless. Effort. It's like Jordan's at the free throw line with his eyes closed, knocking down the jump shots. You know, it's just everything he does is just like effortless.
And if you've never met Teddy, he's like the nicest guy
you
could ever meet.
So chill.
So. If there's one reason you want to see this show, that would be one right there for me, right off the top.
Just imagine these two guys trying to out-jump each other, and then both being good enough to take it to the mat.
Yeah,
it's just oh man, I see myself in you, like Teddy speaking to Zachary. You know, it's just like. This is going to be good because Zach's another one, like, that cutter he does when he jumps off the top rope and just comes down, like, he just flows through the air, and it just looks like it's the easiest thing in the world for him to do.
Hey, like you said, effortless.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be insane.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we have Mr. Grimm going one-on-one with Sugar Dunkerton.
Shug D, who is just entertainment. Like, I had the honor. I was doing alternative commentary when Wrestlers Laboratory had a joint show with Legacy Wrestling out in Pennsylvania. Sugarton comes out. There's Sugarton. Like, I'm mixing his names. Shug D comes out, and the crowd just gets up and wants to dance with him because it's just his energy is so infectious. And he's entertaining in the ring, and the smile, he can light up a million buildings. And it's just like Grimm is like, no, I'm here to shut your lights permanently. Like, there's a contract.
Like, you talk about polar opposites.
Right.
This
right.
is it.
Here's a contract with your name on it. You can choose how you want to die. But you're gonna die. And Grimm doesn't like many people. And you know, maybe I'm going a little above here where I need to, but believe me and him are good. Every time Grimm is in the ring for me, or in a ring where I'm around and I see him, the crowd eats him up. The crowd just loves him. Like, I mean, just all the little things. The Alice, the briefcase, the gear, the music. It's just, he's powerful, but at the same time you relate to him because he kind of seems like one of those guys that are down to earth, but you don't want to come across him in the bar on the wrong night.
Well,
you know?
It reminds me of when I was a kid with the freaking body bag.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, that guy's so cool. But if you piss him off, you're gonna go home in a body bag.
It just reminds me when I was growing up seeing The Undertaker when he first came in, when he was putting people in body bags, and then you're like, oh my god.
And then like, I guess his homage. He's never confirmed it with me, but like the tombstone and this like the spinning tombstone.
Oh yeah, man, that's devastating.
The one that he hit on Tyler Matrix to win the Nucleus Championship the original one, the Beaker. That was in Brooklyn. I thought Tyler died. I was like, oh my god, like, and I was so excited. I was like, pin him, kid, and then he did, and now he's got that gorgeous Wrestlers Laboratory Championship belt. One of my favorite titles I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so
Mr. Grimm's a bad dude.
Oh, totally.
All right. Next, we have another first time ever. We have Pro Wrestling's Maniac, Joe Gacy, going one-on-one with Josh Woods.
I love Joe Gacy. I'm supposed to be, an impartial boss, and I will never allow my affinity for someone to, put them in a situation where they're prosper, without having to earn it.
Yes.
But I love Joe Gacy. There was literally a run where I did like 4 shows back to back, like 2 commentary, two filming, and 1 filming and 1 just scouting. And I saw Joe Gacy at each and every one of them. And he's like, dude, I'm getting tired of seeing you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you got to make the tries. You got to do the tries, right? You got to do the shows. Joe Gacy. Oh, man. So good. Just the music, the mask, the way the crowd just stares at him. And it's just like, it's cult-like, like Gacy is got a following, it's crazy. You don't think you see things like that in independent wrestling, but it's like when Joe Gacy comes out, people stop and just like watch him. It's just like he's got everyone in a trance, and total opposite. Like, so it's like Josh Woods, he's the goods again, another Ring of Honor like prospect, MMA background. So it's like these 2 guys are both fighters, but they both can fight in totally different ways. And Woods has got the MMA background, so he can mix it up with submission and takedowns. And Gacy can mat wrestle. Like, Gacy surprises people with his ability to mat wrestle. He wrestled a match in 5 Boroughs, and he didn't do anything nuts for like the first 5 minutes. Like, he was literally, chain wrestling, taking the guy with holds, headlock, hip toss, and I'm just like, oh, this is a wrestling match. Look at Gacy go. So like,
he can do it both.
He can do it. He can do them both. And it's like, again, it's a situation where are you going to take the professionally trained fighter, or are you going to take the guy who can street fight and can kick ass?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting because Joe Gacy's crazy.
Yes, he is. He's nuts. He's nuts. He's nuts.
All right. Next, we have a 5-way innovational.
Innovatational. So it's innovative and invitational. Innovatational.
My apologies.
It's all right, buddy.
We got 5 tremendous talents in here. It's Joseph Black Cloud versus KTB versus the King of Chaos, Logan Black, versus Baron the Emperor versus Steve Gibkey.
So, I am familiar with everyone in this match except Steve Gibkey, and for that reason, I think he's the dark horse. He's got a tremendous physique. He just did a tour of the UK. The guy's got a mouth on him as well. Logan Black, I mean, Warriors of Wrestling, all over the New York scenes, has had matches thrown out by the Athletic Commission because they were too violent. Baron the Empress, that 2-time New South champion, that belt is gorgeous and humongous, but he's a guy with the physique, with the power to carry it. KTB comes out, and like he loves to say it, puny humans. He just throws humans around. That's what he does for fun. Like, yeah, give me my payday, but I'm gonna have fun as I chuck this person from corner to corner with a huge smile on my face and freak you out while I do it. And then Joseph Blacktown, you talk about a whole ton of power in what does not seem like a big frame. Like the guy's he's not statuesque, he's not tall, he's not tall. But like he chopped Matt McIntosh so hard. McIntosh tweeted, "It's been 4 weeks and I can still feel his paw print on my hand." And it's like when he chopped him at the show, he said, "Why are your hands so big?" Like it's. I've shaken his hand and he's engulfed mine, and I've got him by like 5 inches and like 100 pounds.
When you talk about that chop, it reminded me of, and I don't know if you've seen the pictures or during WrestleMania week, when Walter chopped the ever-living hell out of PCO.
Yes. That's what it was. Like, could you just imagine just breaking character in the middle of a match? Why are your hands so big? And McIntosh is an incredible talent. He's another guy, just such appreciation for what he does in the ring. But Black Cloud hit him so hard, he had to okay, I'm in a real life mode right now. What is going on?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
But this is going to be fun because they all have their own kind of distinct style, and it's just all 5 of them together is just going to be chaos.
Right. So what it is it's a anything goes style elimination match. So they're going to be beating the crap out of each other, and one man's going to be standing at the end of it
and get ready to move.
Right. And the person that wins it, a bit of a hey guys, here's something extra. We're going to crown the Invitational Champion, and they're going to.
There you have it here.
Yeah, you heard it here first. It's going to be a medal, and with whoever wins this will have to defend it in an invitational style match every single event in a different kind of match. So with this guy, it's 5 beefy, burly guys that can kick the shit out of you. And at the next one, who knows what kind of match I'll put together. But whoever the champion is will have to adapt to his opponents.
That's going to be very interesting. All right, next we have another 6-man with Total Immortal versus the Main State Posse.
MSP likes to say they're the way wrestling should be. Danger Kid, Alexander Lee, Aiden Agro. And it's going to... I think Danger Kid's the one that said it's going to be punk on punk violence, because standing across the ring from them will be Kevin Blackwood, Donovan Danhausen, and Eddie Only. So you got 6 guys who represent the punk lifestyle, and they're just going to beat the crap out of each other. I mean,
it reminded me when I was in high school.
Oh yeah, it's gang warfare between people that should be harmonious between each other.
Yeah,
it's like we should be getting along. Now let's beat the crap out of each other. Yeah, this one's gonna be fun because not to say that it won't happen in the other 6-man with Stockade, G Raver, and Havoc. You're expecting a fight there, but Alex can fly and G Raver can fly, and Stockade does, regardless of what you think about his physique, that man can move. But with these two, with MSP and Totally Immortal, I'm expecting them to be flying everywhere. Like they're gonna be going off the ceiling, bouncing off the walls. Someone's gonna find a way to jump from one side of the ring over the other side into the 5th row. Like this is what I'm expecting between these 6 men, and it's gonna be great. And I just hope they keep it in the building because I mean, my fear is that somehow they get on top of the ring truck and start flipping off of that. It's like
I could totally see them doing that.
I don't know if my insurance covers that. Please, guys, come back into the building.
No, that makes total sense. But we have last and certainly not least.
No. Ah, man. Good, buddy.
Yes.
You missed the match.
Did I? I apologize.
You did, and it was recently added, so it might not be on the event page yet. It's a
Okay,
triple
go
threat
ahead and
match.
inform me.
Yeah, it's a triple threat match. So originally it was going to be Damian Bennett, who was formerly of the 13th floor that I mentioned earlier in the interview, versus Ryo. Now, again, two guys, you know, they were making their own waves on a smaller scale, not the grandest stage, but really good. So now, like I said, Damian Bennett was part of the 13th floor, and now he is with the New Covenant, and that's alongside of Conscious King Heru and Zuka. So those guys, I love what they do. They are about reform and change in pro wrestling. And I saw that, I was like, you know what? Bennett's the only one of the four from the 13th floor that hasn't wrestled for him. So I was like, I'm gonna give him a spot. And then Ryo, I've enjoyed Ryo because of what he does. I mean, I feel like I see him everywhere. CZW, Wrestle Pro, like he's all over the place. So I'm like, yeah, let's do that. That's gonna be interesting. And Trevor Eon, again, formerly of the 13th floor, there was a falling out. So Trev went one way, I Cross went another way. Conscious King Heru used to be Chris Bullitt, went a completely different way. And Bennett really kind of stood where he was, like, you know what, I'm going to dominate where I am, regardless of with who I'm with. I had made mentions of this match to Trevor Eon. Eon looked me in the eye. He goes, I want in. I was like, I mean, I'll see what I can do. He was like, no, dude, I'll do it for free. I want in. I was like, oh, shit. Like, bro, like, I don't need you, like, just guys. I don't need you guys killing each other. Like, I want a great match. I don't need you actually trying to kill each other. He goes, nah, man, this needs to happen. And it needs to happen here. I was like, sure, let's do it. So, you know, Ryo is, you know, he might be an innocent bystander, but there's heat there. There's legit, like, disdain between these guys. I don't know what the falling out was about. The unit that was the 13th floor, I fell in love with all four characters. They were all different. They all did their own things. And the falling out kind of hurt me because I wanted to be like, I wanted to be the guy that helped get them to where they need to be. You know, like I saw them as the NWA of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to build from that. And when they fell out, I was like, damn. So now it's like, oh, I see Bennett still doing his thing, and now he's with Heru. Well, there's New Covenant, I like that. And I guess Trev never got over the gripe. Trev's like, I want in, dude. Let's make this happen. So it's going to be interesting, especially because I think Bennett is bringing backup. So this can get ugly. There's no rules in the triple threat match. You just pin a submission. So he's got backup. Is Ryo and Trev going to get together and try to watch each other's back
very quickly?
Yeah, it's just like, it's a little bit, maybe more than I should have given, but this is going to get crazy.
Well, for a late add-on, that's a hell of a match.
Yeah, there's a legitimate story there that needs to be told, and the world needs to see it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited now that you mentioned that was on there. I apologize. You can yell at your Facebook people for not putting that up on the.
I'm gonna get on Beckett for that. That's Beckett's fault. Like I said, before we get on to what is the perfect storm. I have to give. Like I said, there's an anonymous owner. He does not want to divulge. He doesn't want to give to the fans who he is. So the books are in my hand. I have used the former Tier 1 and 5 boroughs general manager, commissioner, whatever the position was, Christopher Beckett, who is my graphics guy. The guy's incredible. You've seen the movie-style posters for Innovative Pro. You've seen the graphics for Battle Club Pro. He does both. He's amazing. And he's been a tool at my dispense. Like, I've used him for certain people that I couldn't get in contact with, or he's got a friendship with. And there's been, like, it's weird. Like, it's like this confusion. Like, oh, it's his. Like, he's getting back into the game. It's really not. Like, he's just helping me because he's a good guy. We've developed a good friendship, and, we learn from each other. So, like, I gave Carlos earlier all the props for everything he's done for me. I've got to give Chris the same. Like, Chris Beckett, Chris Michael, whatever you know him as. He's been really good to me. We've learned from each other. And this team, along with Wrestlers Lab, Battle Club, Innovative Pro, Wrestlers Lab, like, we are all one big truck. We're not all spokes on a wheel. No, we are the phalanx. We are trying to do wrestling in the tri-state area now, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, on this part of America. We're trying to do wrestling as best we can, all with different visions, but all in what's best for wrestling as a whole.
No, and I think that's really cool because, like I said earlier, there's so many companies out there that you kind of have to think outside the box.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, sometimes we'll all talk and, like, mention something. It's like, that's amazing. Or, hey, I wanted to do that. It's like, all right, well, you said it first. So it's a great relationship between all of us. And I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm honored, I'm privileged. I'm every word in the world that can be said to be in the position I'm in, to work with all these amazing companies, to work with all this amazing talent. And it's a dream of mine that I just kind of fell into, and I'm never going to let it go.
That's awesome, man. Now, as I was going to say, we have last and certainly not least, the match, as I told you off air, I said as soon as I saw this, I said, I don't care what else is on the card, I'm there. The King, the leader of MDK himself, Nick Gage, going one-on-one with the Bayonne badass, Danny Moff.
Okay. Two kids have a fight in the schoolyard. Both kids go to dad. Both kids are known for having the baddest motherfucking dads on the planet. These two dads meet up, kick the shit out of each other, go have a beer afterwards. That's what you got here. If these two guys don't kill each other first.
It's gonna be a war.
War doesn't... Bro, when these two guys smash into each other, it's gonna put fear in the heart of Aries. Aries gonna be like, what the fuck's going on up there, man? Like, I didn't sign off on this. This is not what I'm about. Like, oh my God. Like, consistently, Danny Moff is one of the most amazing parts of Wrestle Pro. Oh my God. Like, I watch him in such enjoyment. Like, I know I have to be professional and video him with the camera, but it's just like, I catch myself cheating and just like watching him as I'm filming because he's so good. Yeah. And then Gage, Nick fucking Gage, bro. Like,
I've been to see like the horrors he's done to people. There's not a lot of things that can make like my mouth drop or like jaw drop. You know what I mean? When I saw that, you're just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so happy that this is gonna happen. But like, I just hope they don't. I just hope that there isn't a point in the match where they've like utilized every one of their maneuvers in their arsenal and they just start chucking fans at each other. Like that's the fear I have. It's like, hey kid, come here for a second, and they start beating each other over the head with fans, like. Because it might get to that point.
I could totally see that too.
Yeah, man. I'm perfect storm. Like that's total. That's the best way to put it because it's going to rain down like hellfire.
Oh my God! I just hope they don't like destroy the building.
Yeah, they might. I might have to hire a construction crew to put it back together before the night's over.
When those two are done.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think so because...
And I got to tell you, and I said this to you off air and you mentioned it, if you've never seen Nick Gage live and see his entrance and him come out, there's something super electric about it.
Yes, Metallica. the way it hits, the way he comes out, it's the crowd, Nick fucking Gage, Nick fucking Gage, Nick fucking Gage. But it's like I've been to WrestlePro shows, and the crowds are Moff is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Whose side? It's like it's similar to I mean, I don't want to go this route because maybe some people won't agree with it because we're talking independent pro wrestling, but it's like it's the best example I come. It's Rock and Hogan. Like, who are they gonna cheer for when the match starts?
No, it really is. Like, they're gonna be so split down the middle.
Yeah, it totally 50-50.
Absolutely. Now, if people want to get tickets for either event, how can they go ahead and do that?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are all there. You can go to battleclubpro.com for the Battle Club tickets. You get Facebook on Innovative Pro. Everything's accessible via social media. If you want to buy tickets at the door, there will definitely be tickets at the door. Hell, like if you want tickets delivered, I'm not above that as long as I'm sure I'm not going to get robbed. But like, man, the mission is to bring the best wrestling possible, and I'm on board for both companies, and I'm gonna do whatever I can so that I'm successful in both endeavors because I'm challenging myself and I don't want to lose. I hate losing. So it's like
absolutely
right
now. If they want to contact you or either company on social media, what's the social media links, or how can they get in touch with you on social media?
So it's battleclubpro.com on Facebook. It's xbattleclubpro on Instagram and Twitter. Battleclubpro.com has its own website. Innovative Pro, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on all social medias as my real name, Joakim Morales. I'm one of those weird people who have their life together, so they have their actual name on all platforms. But yeah, man, like always down to talk. Like I have many fans that hit me up. Hey, like, what can we do here? Or, I think this is a good idea. Or they'll just talk with me. Like, it's weird. Like the relationships I've developed with the fans. Like, hey man, how you doing? I'm good, bro. Shitty day at work or a great day at work, or the case may be. So, shooting the shit with a fan, and like I'm all about, because I've been on that side where, you don't feel right talking to the person because they're not in the place where they work. I'm all for any conversations anywhere. That's just who I am. Talent. You can message me directly on any social media platform. I'm always reviewing stuff. Like, I got zero time for a personal life because I'm always looking at new people. Like, people are sending me stuff and I'm watching. Like,
you're always trying to take like the next step.
Right. So like, hey, guys, gals, I'm here. I'm easy to find. Like I said, just look my name up on any social media platform that you prefer, and I will answer. J Morales, bcp@gmail.com if you feel more comfortable doing emails. But it's all there, bro. All there. And I'm all for the fans, all for wrestling, and I just want to make everything as great as possible, because at the end of it, I want to know I gave my complete effort to making any and all companies that I'm involved with, especially Battle Club Pro, Innovative Pro, and Wrestlers Lab, as great as they can be.
That's awesome, man. Now, before we get out of here, I actually have one last question for you, and it's from the executive producer of B Plus Player Radio. He wants to know, what is your favorite thing about Mark Adam Haggerty?
Man, this guy's either the biggest Mark Adam Haggerty fan on the planet, or he is Mark Adam Haggerty.
I literally got this message while we were doing this.
Here it is. Mark Adam Haggerty is the most inviting soul I've ever met in pro wrestling. Mark Adam Haggerty is the first person I hired full-time at Battle Club Pro for one reason and one reason alone. When he is in that ring, there's something special about him that draws the fans in. I have become a huge fan of his, and I'm so happy that I can say we're friends because he's just an amazing person. There's just something about him. He's going to be a star. I totally see it. 5 years down the line, whether it's talk radio or it's professional wrestling, there's just like this aura where it's like he gets in there and he's got the jacket and the mustache and the man bun and the smile, and he's just the person that you want to fall in love with.
Right.
And I have.
What I would say is, like, you know how sometimes when you see someone, you can't necessarily explain why you feel the way you do, but that you know they have it.
Yes. And if my first commentary partner is listening to this, I don't mean to put you down in any way. Dave Sturgio has helped me so much through everything.
And he's a great person.
He's a great person. You want that booming voice for a mega event? Dave Sturgio is the guy. You want great insight in sports? Dave Sturgio is the guy. But Mark, it's it, and it's it. I can't even like come up with an example.
The way I would explain it, Joakim, is like he's like you in the sense of he lives, eats, breathes, sleeps wrestling.
Yes. He's in this. Here we go. In this weird, wacky platform that we call wrestling, he is the perfect example of why it works.
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna wait for that check in the mail from him. And
now I could post it on Twitter. I could just say, here's your Mark Adam Haggerty plug for today.
But I love the guy, man.
No, he's a great guy. I wouldn't be
so great.
Anywhere near where I am if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, man. I worked with him, and a bunch of we've worked in New York, we've worked in Rhode Island, we've worked in Jersey. Like, just the guy's amazing, man. There's no other way to put it. The guy's amazing.
I agree with you. But on that note, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to check out our social media stuff. You can find it at facebook.com/American Sports Connection or on Twitter at ASC Pods, PODS. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give us a thumbs up, all that stuff. And we'll see you back next time. Have a good night, everybody.